Hey, it's the Rusty Dusty Picker YouTube channel coming back at you. I'm going to do my next project here. As you can see here, I've got a bare piece of wood. You don't see that a lot in the shop. It was given to me by my neighbor. He was going to burn it. He had these 2x6s from a project he had done. And so thanks, Jim. I've got probably a dozen of them. So I've now sanded it down, giving it nice edges, pleasing to the hands. And I'm going to combine that with a garage sale find, throw in type of a thing. I'll let you read that. It says, "And I think to myself, what a wonderful, wonderful place." So to this, I'm going to do, I think, a beach type of a scene. I guess that's one of my unwritten rules, is when I'm not sure what to make, it's either beach or patriotic. You can't go wrong. So I think I'm going to do a beachy sign here, to which I can install this this garage sale throw-in. Once again, it's a bottom of the bag, last day, 50-cent or free throw-in type of a thing. And my thought, and another, I'm thinking of staining this a lighter color, like a gray or an antique white, but I have a pale gray stain here that I'm looking to bring back to life, if you can see that, oil-based. And what I do oftentimes also, once again, this is estate sale, garage sale, thrift shop sale, what have you, is you can often recover some of these old stains that are hard to find, and if you do find them, they can be quite expensive if you're buying a lot of them. So this is a full can of this gray, which, as you can see, let me help you out here, is coming back to life. So we're going to use this. Success. I like that. So let me, I'm going to apply this with a rag probably, and not a brush, but let's figure it out. All right, so we mixed up the Minwax wood stain. It's the Pastels collection. How fancy. Pale gray. And it's got to be 20 years old, but once again, this is stuff you can find in somebody's storage shed if they're having an estate sale or garage sale. And the tip with this type of stuff is, don't listen, this is a picker channel, really, mostly, just put it that way. But people that are having these sales, they don't know what a brush goes for. I come across these, and once again, they end up thrown in like the bottom of the bag, and then because they don't know what the value of a paintbrush is, and for the most part, paintbrushes are extremely inexpensive, especially if you're just using them for crafts. So if you ask them for a price, they're going to tell you, okay, $1 a piece. Well, you can get 3 for $1 in some places, and now you're kind of in a stalemate with them and kind of look cheaper than you already are. So you bundle the stuff, or you do it at the end of the sale, and you say, okay, I'll give you $10 for that box of stuff, and more times than not, they'll say, yeah, that'd be awesome. So, and it's the same with spray paints and stuff. A can of spray paint, at Lowe's or Home Depot is what, $4, $4.50, sometimes less. And so yeah, you just don't want to grab a couple of cans, because they don't know that, and they'll tell you, $10 for 2 or something, and then once again you're in a pickle. And then you're having a conversation you don't want to have by telling them they're not worth that. So, all right, so this stain is going on pretty good. I did opt for a brush. The only reason I'm brushing, I usually will use a rag that's semi-perforated, but I didn't have one. I just have a bunch of old t-shirts and stuff that I've been using as rags, and stain does not go on well with you know, a thin t-shirt and such. So I'm going to give this a healthy dose of this stain. Trying to go with the grain as usual. I like it. I'm very happy with how it came back to life so far. So I'll just give a couple more seconds here. I'll do the edges, and then we'll take a little break on my end and let it dry. And then I'll try to come up with some beachy theme to get this done. So I'll check right back again. All right, so we're all stained gray now, all dry. And next steps is we're going to add vertical rectangular stripes, for lack of a better word, probably about 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of nearly the same size. I'm not going to measure. I'm going to do what I just did. And for that, let's get started and jump right in. Just going to use masking tape. The colors are, I'm going to kind of mute down an aqua greenish blue color and pair that with a sprinkling of an off-white, which in this case will be an antique parchment, they call it, or whatever. So, and we'll come back, and I'm simply going to put the word beach on here and keep it simple, which is usually a good idea. So I'm just going to do the edges. I'm going to do that aqua color, and then keep going. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You don't have to be exact. A little beachy sign with a saying, that little accent I showed you. This is the aqua. And I'm just going to add a touch of this. I think I might need more. Just a little more. Once again, it's easy to work with if you do it in straight lines, even though I'm going to be mixing a little bit here. By straight lines, I mean it's when you grab with the brush. Can't speak today. It's 49 in the garage shop. Dusty Picker channel is cold. So yeah, so straight lines, you probably heard me say this before. It's easier just to grab the paint with a brush rather than dumping it into a pool of paint. Now for mixing, it's a different story. You see that? So we're mixed up. What else is new? I don't mix it perfectly because I don't care. This is on the fly. This is off, fixed. There we go. So here we go. This is a light aqua, or a dressed down aqua color. I like the gray background for both this color and for the highlights of the off-white type. It helps. You're not trying to throw paint all over the piece. You're simply looking for definition and the hint of it. I have a spam phone call coming in, which is always good. I should actually pick it up and bust some chops, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, so as you can see, I'm not trying to fill the entire piece with paint, and I'm not brushing, I'm dabbing. It gives it that worn, beachy, windswept look in the end. Let's get the camera in place here, and we'll do the other end real quick. The lettering on this piece will be, unless I change my mind, but it will be a dark gray or a, I'm going to make up a word. It might be an off black. So sort of a, once again, lighter than black type of a deal. I'll see if I have something like that ready to go. Otherwise, I'll make it. But I don't want jet black on there. I don't want black tie black or any of those. We'll keep it beachy. All right. All right. Well, while you weren't looking, I did the middle one. Just to, I swear to heck, I'm gonna knock you guys over one of these days. Straight down like this. But I like to keep it close to the action. So now we're gonna do the white, the off-white. So let me tape these off. You know, it's not completely dry, and I don't get nuts about that. I like to, I'll use the tape. Sometimes I'll freehand it. You know, you don't have to press it onto the other color. You just want to get the border done. But there's no reason to wait around until it's completely dry. It's not worth anybody's time. That's all. Okay. 47, by the way, in the shop update. It's such a classic move by me, grabbing the wrong brush. Do it constantly. Now this is going to be, as you see here, I'm just doing more of a sprinkling type of a thing rather than even less coverage than the other one. This is like the sun-baked side of the lifeguard cabin by the end of the summer. Just get enough. Get those letters to pop off of this. As you saw, this is as I said, this is a reclaimed piece of 2x6, you know, a new piece of lumber that, you know, we rescued from being burned or thrown in the landfill, and you know, that's half the fun. Sometimes it's just, next thing you know, it's hanging on somebody's wall for a while. It's really cool when you really boil it down that way, and you see the smile on somebody's face sometimes when they get it, and it's like wow, that's all it took to make somebody happy. Well, you know what? We need more of that. A lot more of that type of stuff. We'll define the edges here. Always got to make sure we do that. If you're using the tape, then use it. Get the definition. And then here in the middle where we are sort of sparsely using the paint. So we're good. Take that off. take that off. We'll take that off, and we'll take that off. So that's where we're at. So we are going to, I'm going to stencil the word beach on here. Not perfectly within the boxes probably, because that's not the way the letters will line up. And then we're going to put that little sign right down in here. It will probably even overlap the bottom, which is cool. And so let me grab the stencil and get the right paint, and we'll get jiggy. Well, it's lettering time. So I did mix up some excuse me, some black and vanilla to make an off black. How about that? Very lightly. Very, very lightly. I don't know if it helps or it hurts, but it's so dry in here, dry and cold, that the paint is literally drying on the cardboard I'm trying to use as my palette. So I might have to make some more. Oh well. All right. That's about all we need right there. Moving as quickly as I can, as you can see. Nice and light. Tap, tap. Getting the spacing right on the letters by eye is challenging, but it's not undoable. So once you get used to it, you know, I think your mind basically just gets used to all of the reference points, meaning, you know, the horizontal lines, the vertical lines, the distance between the letters themselves. As you can see, I usually will measure with a finger or two if I'm really out of it. And if you put too much paint on a letter, which I didn't necessarily do on this one, you know, Nature's Magic Eraser is my finger right there. The fingerprint can just dull it enough for what you're looking for. So I'm rushing through and mixing paint with the same brush that I'm working with, but I want to give you guys a good view. You guys and gals. I guess you're not supposed to say guys anymore. Whatever. Okay, let's get the H going. So if you were a little nervous about your spacing, and then if you had done like one fat finger, then now you know on that side you're good. And I've intentionally been giving the stencil, if they're all aligned the same, which these ones are, I've been intentionally overlapping it by like 1/8 of an inch as I go. But I just, I made that calculation in the beginning, and because I know I have to save room at the bottom for the sign, for the saying that I'm gonna glue onto it. I preferred not to glue it onto it, but I don't think I have room there for screws to do that. But we're gonna visit that very shortly. But the letters are done, and we are cooking right along. Once again, if you want a little more, you want to dull it a little bit, use your fingers. All right. Okay, all set. The lettering's done, the sign's done. We're mostly dry. Yes, this piece can stand on its own if that's what you wanted. But we can do that all day long. But this channel is about incorporating other elements that we pick up and the like as a so-called picker. So this is what we're going to do next. I'm going to glue this on, and then move on from there and just finish it up. It won't take long at all. Alrighty, moving right along. It's all glued on. The front is ready to go. On the back here, I whitewashed the back here a little bit, and I'm going to I'm just going to stencil on a little anchor on the back just for giggles here. So a navy blue anchor. So let me just put the tape on there. Load the brush. Geez, one day you guys are going down, so bring your helmet. All right. So this is going to reside right there. And next we will be just hanging a wire on the back for ease of hanging. Piece of cake there. I might show you how I do it, which isn't exactly splitting the atom, but it's good to know. If just a little quick tip on how to do that. So there you go. Got a happy little anchor chilling out right there. So yeah, so we're going to use two. We're going to use two of these screws, and then I'm going to cut a piece of wire, and we're just going to have a hanging here. So before I do that, what I did want to do is show you probably the quickest and best way to figure out where to put the screws, because you certainly don't want to center it where the piece is going to want to hang askew like that or this, but you want to find the center of gravity on the piece. I know most of you are saying duh, but that's fine. Some people, so you quickly do that. You find where the center of gravity is, and then what I do is I'll just take one of the screws and I'll go equidistant from that is where you want to put your screws in. So I'll make a mark sometimes just with one screw, and then with another try to get them even across there horizontally. So there you see now I'm pretty confident that I'm pretty close to having an accurately hanging wall sign. So I'll take care of the wire in a sec. Come right back. And there we go. We're all wired up now. We're good to go. Back is done. The front is done. Resisting the urge to do anything else to this piece. Like I said, the beach sign could stand on its own, but I like to incorporate these things that we rescue. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. We'll be doing a lot more. If you want to subscribe to know when they're coming, feel free to do that as well. And we'll see you on the next one. Take care.